We don't know what the weather is going to be like around here. I do get really anxious during storms.
That's why they chose HailGuard. When performance leads, confidence follows. Backed by the first and only asphalt shingle system with a hail warranty.
That just gives us more peace of mind.
This is the only asphalt product on the market that has the manufacturer warranty targeting the hail damage, and it gives me a lot of confidence as a contractor.
Engineered for enhanced impact performance. Built to protect homes and reputations. HailGuard shingles. Built for hail.
Hey there, crew. It is 10:23. Want to hop on and cover the severe thunderstorm warning that my friends at the National Weather Service has issued for Pueblo County until 10:45 p.m. because it is producing some pretty strong wind and could produce some wind up to around 60 miles per hour. Tamco Building Products and their HailGuard shingles beyond Class 4, bringing us a look at this storm. And here's what I want to focus on. See how in the sort of southwestern quadrant of the warning here that the colors have the storm's collapsing a little bit on the southwestern flank, and that's what's helping to produce some of the wind that we have out there. You see the gold box, that is the severe thunderstorm warning. It includes Avondale and Boone and eastern parts of Pueblo, but getting into the more rural areas out to the east of the city here where we have this severe thunderstorm warning. It's moving off to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour, getting to Avondale and Boone about right now. And you can see here on the leading edge of this gust front that is moving toward the radar, we've got some wind that has been around 50 miles per hour. And you can see some of these brighter greens in here. I'm measuring a little bit above 50 miles per hour. So it's kind of moving through the Pueblo Airport area. It is out ahead of some of the stronger rain with this system, and that by far is the biggest threat with this storm. It's not hail or anything like that. There might be some real small hail in there. There's some torrential rain coming down from this severe thunderstorm, and if you are in Pueblo West or Pueblo, you're looking off to the east, or maybe you're in Colorado Springs, and you've stepped outside and you can see the lightning off to the east, you can pop on here with me on Peaks to Plains Weather, vmix.at/1RJSL1 with a capital J, capital S, and vmix.at/zmSjK with a capital S and capital K. And then you give your camera permission, your microphone permission, and you can hop on here with me and make sure that your camera, your phone, if you're going to be outside, is horizontal. Please make sure that you are in a safe place. And so those of you in Avondale and Boone, heads up. The wind's already moved through there, but just wanted to give you a heads up that we're not overly concerned about hail or anything like that. It's heavy rain and a wind threat. And we have had other storms across the area this evening. Christine B here, whoops. Wow, what did I do right there? Christine says that the lightning in Stetson Hills is insane tonight. We've had 3 strikes close to our house. The first one fried our TV. I'm really sorry to hear that, Christine. That makes me sad. I don't like to see when that happens. Let me try something here and see if I got that going to a different place now, because I want to bring up Christine's comment. Here we go. Not good if it fries a TV, right? Yeah. not good stuff. But that's the strongest storm that we've got going out there. We've had a few that have moved through Colorado Springs here over the last little bit. I got some rain at my house up on the northwest side. There is a clustering of storms out here. We do have a new fire that has been reported off to the northwest of Kim. It's near where the Poitras Canyon fire was earlier this year. It is to the north of County Road 48. So it's kind of up in this area, up in here. It's about 400 acres. Kim Fire is on scene of that fire. It was likely caused by lightning. And then we've got a report of very bright lightning, strong wind in Boone, makes sense. And Cache La Poudre and Wasatch flooded in Colorado Springs from the storms that we've had out there. Like we've talked about the last few days, these storms are efficient rain producers, regardless of where they are and regardless of if they have the potential for wind that could be strong enough to prompt a severe thunderstorm warning like the one we have in eastern Pueblo County right now. So the strongest wind off to the north of Highway 50, it's kind of on the leading edge. Let me pull that back up here for you so you can see that. And I might actually animate that here because the leading edge of the stronger winds actually getting outside of the severe thunderstorm warning. Excuse me. Oof. But here, let's animate that. You can see that wind moving from south to north across the severe thunderstorm warning. They're moving toward the radar site that's in northeastern Pueblo County. Let's talk about how much rain we've had this evening, since we have a report there of some pretty hefty flooding across parts of Colorado Springs, at least in terms of some minor street flooding, let's call it. Wasatch and Cache La Poudre in the downtown area. And there is a little pocket here kind of off to the northeast of downtown where you can see that we have a little bit more that has been measured than some other areas. It's nothing obscene, so it's probably just in the gutters and things like that. There might be some poor drainage happening from one of the storm drains that maybe has backed it up a little bit. But, that's about ½ inch that we're seeing there in a couple spots downtown with these latest storms that have moved through. Up on top of Pikes Peak, we've seen more rain today off on the east side of Colorado Springs around Peterson, around Barnes here. We've had some pretty good rain as well. Let me show you how much this has been. Some of this has been from this evening, and so around an inch. So there might be some water on some of the roads out in these areas as well. And then we've had some pretty good rain across other parts of the area. You can see the scattering of thunderstorms across Los Animas County into Baca County in the southeastern corner of the state. And again, that fire reported off to the northwest of Kim. And then with our severe thunderstorm here, that, the rain accumulation product lags behind a little bit, but we're seeing about an inch of rain. And we've been talking about that for the last 3 or 4 days, that these storms this time of year produce really, really efficient rain. And so it's easy to get a ½ inch to an inch of rain if one of these storms moves overhead. So that's what we've got happening on the east side of Pueblo right now. If you're going to be driving around on some of the dirt roads near some of the farms in this area, be aware that they are likely very muddy here. And Rita's saying, yeah, the lightning with the storm is just crazy out in eastern Pueblo County. And Katrina agreed with what Christine said earlier about the storm in the Stetson Hills area, the loudest thunder that I have ever heard. And Janine just got another shower off to the east of Ellicott. So the rain is the good news here. We don't want to see severe thunderstorms and things like that. But this in terms of, major severe weather threat kind of getting into northeast Pueblo County. There's not a lot of us that live out there. And right on the leading edge of that, we are seeing some new thunderstorm development. But the rain with this system is moving eastward. It's actually picking up a little bit toward Fowler in northwestern Otero County, southwestern Crowley County. We're getting some storms here. Hoping my buddy John Tomke out here and all of you out on the plains can get some rain. We need it in a big way. that's the good news with this, regardless of the time of day. Chris says the Belmont area and Pueblo lightning has been crazy. So again, you guys all kind of saying the same thing there, and that is not a big surprise. If one of you wants to go on the porch and show me that, you can pop on here and we'll show that for you. But, kind of nice to see this cluster of rain here in eastern parts of Pueblo County. We had an outflow boundary that came in from the east earlier. Let me load this up over the last 4 hours. We might be able to see that. And it's going to take a little bit on Tamco Live Radar here for some of this data to pull up. But we had a cold front move through from the north. That's the first of the blue lines that you see there kind of moving to the south. And then there was an outflow boundary back behind it from some storms earlier today out on I-70 near Kansas. Both of those things moving in this evening, helping to increase some of the forcing up against the higher terrain, interact with some of the existing storms that we've had out there and have intensified them a little bit. And there's some real good rain out here along and south of Highway 50 right now. That we've got going. So, we're going to have some spots out here that get more than an inch of rain as well. So Fowler, it's coming into your area. Manzanola, we've got a nice shower overhead right now. Rocky Ford is, look at kind of just lined up on the cities there, 50. So that's kind of fun to see. And then Avondale and Boone getting some heavy rain as well. And this is kind of, again, moving off to the northeast here at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. And producing a lot of lightning, as many of you have said. Out east on Highway 96 in Kiowa County, around Haswell, we've got a thunderstorm. That stretches up into Cheyenne County. Kit Carson getting some right now. Cheyenne Wells getting some rain out here. Nothing severe, but that's nice to see. Storms moving out of the Colorado Springs metro area here this evening. We've got one off to the east of the airport right now, kind of moving towards Schriever. Again, getting some good rain with that. And we'll take all of that. And we've got more on the way for tomorrow. Let me give you the forecast here really quick as we head into our Tuesday. Because over the next couple of hours, these storms are going to die down. And then that will set the stage for tomorrow. Lots of water in the air. In fact, high pressure that's been shifting off to the south today puts us in an area that's more favorable for west to east movement as we hit tomorrow. So what we'll see here as we move into our Tuesday is that storms will develop first over the mountains. There's a wave moving through the atmosphere tomorrow as well. And behind the front here with some easterly flow at the surface tomorrow, any storms coming down the eastern slopes of the mountains are going to be in an environment where they intensify a little bit. And like what we are seeing right now with this thunderstorm in Pueblo, if you get a cluster of them together, you get this little enhanced area where you might get some wind gusts around 60 miles per hour. That's possible tomorrow, kind of right along the eastern mountains, the eastern slopes toward the interstate and a little bit east of there. Again, the storms could produce half inch to an inch or so of rain, and they'll shift east as we move into the late part of the afternoon and early evening. There may be a couple thunderstorms back behind that first wave. Those won't be as strong back in here as this first wave, and you always have to watch for some outflow boundaries. Once storms get going, we'll have some of those around tomorrow as well. That could produce some localized enhancement here as these storms roll off to the east and eventually end up into Kansas. I think storms are done a little bit earlier tomorrow than they are tonight, and I think they start earlier tomorrow than we had today as well. Another round of storms on Wednesday. In fact, Tuesday and Wednesday are our sort of widest spread storm days. And they are also the days where we have the best potential for areas to get an inch or so of rain because there's so much water in the air. It's about 150% of normal by the time we get to Wednesday. So even for a time of year where there tends to be more water in the air, there's more than average. That's why it's felt so humid with some of the heat we had. And it was another hot day out there. We hit 110 in Lamar today. So we've got a new fire we are working off to the northwest of Kim. We'll talk more about that tomorrow morning on Mornings with Meister. And we've got this severe thunderstorm warning going for about another 9 minutes here across eastern Pueblo County. And the threat for wind, which has decreased a little bit here. I'll put the wind fields back on. And you can see how it's been moving north away from some of the other thunderstorm activity that's been moving into Crowley and Otero County. You can see that that outflow has been moving right toward the radar here. And if let me change this color. All right, there we go. And now I'll measure the wind because it has come down a little bit. But there's some new wind back here on Highway 96 that's running about 50 miles per hour. Highway 96 and Highway 50 here, off to the east of Avondale, a new pocket with some of the new developing updrafts that is on the stronger side of things. You can see back behind the gust front, the wind pulls back to about 10 miles per hour. So it's up on this leading edge where it's stronger. And then this new cluster that's developing down here on Highway 96. So if we zoom in on that and give you an idea of where this is in the vicinity of lane 64 around Nepesta, and you see how that blue, it doesn't like move into the area, it just kind of shows up. So it's come from above, it's spreading out in all directions, and that's the outflow that we often talk about around here. And these blues here, I mean, there's some wind in here that is probably over 50 miles per hour if I look at my color table. So yeah, there's 56, 54, right along Highway 96 here off to the northwest of Nepesta by about 3 miles. So, you know, watch out in this area. This is going to spread out, kind of start moving off to the north and northeast again. So if you are in this area and the wind hasn't picked up yet where you are, it is going to here in the short term. We've also got some stronger wind off to the east where, you know, around Fowler, we're seeing it pick up between 20 and 30 miles per hour right now. Let me look at this loop over the last 30 minutes. Yeah, so we've got outflow that's moving eastward as well. So it's kind of spreading out from where the stronger rain is off to the north and to the east is where we have it right now. So heads up in this area, gusty wind, heavy rain, and lots of lightning is what we are dealing with. And some good rain coming down in Manzi right now. Olney Springs is picking up on some. Fowler, we've got heavy rain back into Avondale and Boone. And again, the severe thunderstorm warning that's up here for another about 5 minutes now. So this is until 10:45 in Pueblo County. Barb's checking in here and says her ambient weather station says that the dew point is 62.5. I have no qualms with that at all. In fact, the dew point in Pueblo right now is 65. So there you go, Barb. You're right on track. And there are some spots out across eastern Colorado where it's a little bit higher than that and flirting with 70. And she says, yeah, the air is so thick. It does feel like that, but that's one of the reasons we're getting rain. So it's tough to complain about that. Janine says, raining again where she is. She's in the Ellicott area. And so, you know, a lot of us picking up some rain tonight. That is, I think it's nice to see. Let me talk about this before we focus on the next severe thunderstorm warning, see if they are going to shift that off to the southeast here a little bit. So early this morning, it was 76 for the low temperature in Colorado Springs and Pueblo, which obliterated the warm low records, the warmest overnight lows. You can see the previous records there. But it also has some historical significance. It's the third warmest overnight in Colorado Springs history, ties for the warmest in Pueblo. Now, we have until 1 o'clock in the morning because we're on Mountain Daylight Saving Time to officially put that in records. But if you, like for daily records, but if you put it in terms of how it was this morning and where lows usually are, it's about as warm as it gets. We'll check the temps now. We're only 3 off of that 76 in Pueblo. That Colorado Springs now we've dropped to 68 degrees behind some of the storms. So those official daily records, at least in Colorado Springs, aren't going to reflect that. But for where we were this morning on the overnight low, it was mild for sure. And check it out, still 80 in Denver, still 83 in Ordway, but that number is going to come down as we get these storms to move overhead. So we're watching for the continuation of a severe thunderstorm warning, and I would be surprised, given what they issued before, if with what we just measured on the velocity together, that we don't have another one issued, because there is this little chunk here that's on the eastern part of the warning, and we have some stronger wind that's heading eastward here. Let me loop this and slow it down. Okay, ready? Here we go. All right, see that red that's advancing in western Crowley County right now? That's some pretty strong wind on the leading edge of that, and there's some strong wind back behind it that's going to help to fan that. So on this leading edge here, we've got 44 miles an hour, up around 50, a couple data points. And then back here, we've got some data that's up around 50 as well. So we'll see what they choose to do. Regardless, it's pretty strong. It's between 40 and 55 miles per hour that we are measuring right now. And again, that's because we've got some rain cooled air that is moving out ahead of this stronger rain. It's outflow. Right? Thunderstorms have updrafts and downdrafts. When the downdraft, all the precipitation, the cooling that some evaporation causes, precip dragging the ground, it spreads out in all directions, and you get strong wind gusts, and you get outflow and outflow boundaries that can cause new storms. So that's what we're watching for here. Weather Service says they are going to expire the severe thunderstorm warning, but we've still got some strong wind out there, and it's a close call. So, I can't criticize them too much there. But for where we were earlier to issue the severe thunderstorm warning would make sense to me to kind of extend it out east a little bit, but it was kind of right on the razor's edge there. So that's where we sit. These storms off to the north of Highway 96 and off to the southwest of Kit Carson, getting a little bit stronger now. So there's some good rain out in this area as well. And that, I think, is the best news from today. If you're just joining us, a new fire off to the northwest of Kim was reported a couple of hours ago now, a little bit after 8 o'clock. And it is called the Broche Fire, BROCE. It's about 400 acres, and it's off to the north of County Road 48, kind of in the vicinity of where this storm is right now. It's to the west of Highway 109. Kim Fire's out there. They're working on it. Getting some rain hopefully helps to put it out. I'll have an update on that tomorrow morning. So, crew, that is our coverage of the ongoing thunderstorms. Enjoy the rain. Enjoy the thunder. If you're somebody like me, I have a hard time going to bed when it's like this. I like opening the windows. I like listening to it. I like sitting under the porch and kind of watching the sky illuminate. It's really, really fun to do. So, yeah, more storms on the way the next couple of days. I'll have it for you tomorrow morning. Live mornings with Meister at 6:30. Would love to see you then. I do it every Monday through Friday at 6:30. And like we're doing right now, we are on live when the weather is high impact across the area. This is Peaks to Plains weather, our weather together. Coverage of thunderstorms on Peaks to Plains weather is brought to you by Tamco Building Products and the Tamco HailGuard Beyond Class 4 shingles, the only Class 4 rated shingle on the market. So thanks for being here with me this evening. Have a good night.
I'm Catherine.
And I'm Dewey, here with another water-wise tip.
During summer, do you know why we water up to 3 days a week?
To make the best use of me.
Exactly. It builds deeper, stronger roots and makes your lawn more resilient.
Also, use the cycle and soak method. Try shorter cycles with breaks in between to reduce runoff.
And in spring or fall, you can water 1 or 2 days per week. Be water-wise and your lawn will thrive.
Now that's water-wise. Learn more at csu.org/waterwise.